Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're talking about Battlezone on the Atari 2600 for a specific reason. A few weeks ago, Metal Jesus Rocks had a really cool video for games that were potentially ruined by their control schemes. And he reached out to his sort of gang and said, hey, what are some titles you guys think really suffered from their controllers or the control scheme that they were sort of shoehorned into? And of course, since most of those folks are younger than myself, they didn't really touch on the older generation of games. And I just thought, well, that's unfortunate because I really think Battlezone on the Atari 2600 is a strong contender. I mean, I love Battlezone. I've got it for PlayStation VR where you can actually play the original arcade machine with those green vector graphic styles. And I play original Battlezone, the arcade machine, anytime I go to an event like Portland Retro Gaming Expo or the pinball show in Tacoma. Like, I love Battlezone, don't get me wrong. But when I saw this rendition of it for the 2600, I just thought, ugh. I mean, it looks better, in quotation marks, because it's a more realistic raster kind of display, but I'd prefer it in vector. And the thing that really kills me, though, they only made it controllable with the joystick. And I just thought, okay, most games for the 2600 are using the joystick, but given the style of gameplay that Battlezone uses, where you actually use two joysticks for moving the tank around, why wouldn't they have made this game possible where you could actually play this with both joysticks? I mean, find a way to, like, I don't know, cram them together or lock them into some kind of a base, and then use your hands to kind of move around and, you know, do the controller the proper way. I guess the snag is how would you actually hit the button, but I guess you could always reach over with a pinky or, I don't know, slam your wrist down onto the button to do the firing. I know there are also joysticks that have buttons on the end, so there are alternatives here. So for them to not even provide that as an option, to make it so that you could only play with one controller, one joystick, I just thought, well, that sucks, and I really like Battlezone, but you guys have kind of lost me there. Similarly, there are actually things you can get. Some people have jury-rigged together a thing that'll hold both of these controllers together, and I know Atari Age has a ROM that's hacked to actually use these two controllers in that configuration. But I know that also Classic Game Room did a thing on, I can't remember what it's called, the sticky, whatever. It's like a big base that you would put your controller in. And that's from back in the day. It wouldn't have been too hard to believe they could put two of these into one of those things, and then you would be able to use this to play Battlezone. But nope, it never happened. So we're stuck with just Battlezone using one joystick, and I can't say I'm much of a fan. I haven't played it in years because when I heard it was just using this, I thought, well, I'm out. I'm not interested. But you know what? Let's give it another try and just see what it's like to play it now. Maybe I should have put it on that. Ooh. I was going to say maybe I should have put it on a harder control scheme challenge level, but then they went and killed me. So let's get here. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's a fun version of Battlezone, I guess, but I do not like this fact that I'm stuck using one joystick in the way that I have to use it. And, you know, when you also take away the vector style art style to it, this doesn't feel like the Battlezone that I like at all. And it's really unfortunate. And again, it's too bad that nobody else mentioned this on Metal Jesus' video, because this is a prime example of a classic game. A really well-known title. Oh dear. Darn it. And one that I would say is ruined by a bad control scheme. And the real killer is it could have been done. This is not rocket science. It's not like we need to have, you know, a number pad or some kind of weird spinner plus joystick combination like Tron uses. No, this would have been very easy to implement, and they just never did. I guess it's some kind of a requirement back in the day that, you know, we can't make the control scheme too hard. Oh, here comes that missile. I'm gonna die. Oh. I don't think the missile got me. I think that I just managed to get shot there. Interesting. Anyway, so that's my video. Just a very quick one. I haven't talked about the Atari for a while. Love this machine. But not loving this game. And I guess until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.